this voice part here. So here is, right here, that's an F natural. F natural is going to be 5, D natural, 2, and then F natural again, which is a little weird, doesn't happen often, 5. So this is a sign that this may not be part of this row, because we generally don't see these two next to each other, right? You're almost never going to see a 5, a 2, and then followed by a 5. That's totally breaking the rules of serialism. So this tells us that this probably has to be part of maybe this one, this row. Because we've got basically 2 rows, one in the piano going and then one in the voice. So you've got to sort of manipulate it and figure out how that works. And then we've got G sharp, it's going to be 8. A is 9, G natural 7, and B flat or A sharp is 10, and then, let's see, and then this B natural is going to be 11. Just happens to work out that way, 10, 11. All right, so then let's look at this piano part and give it actual numbers, okay? So you want to always find, you never want to have 2 going at the same time. So we've got 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, go with the first 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So this guy right here, this F natural, is a total problem child. And that tells us, we also don't want to be missing a number, right? So we've got 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Here's 11, okay? So that gives us all of our pitches if we discount this. Now let's analyze this one and see if maybe it fits in. So here we've got E natural. And so does this, so this is going to be some version of this guy right here. So we've got C natural, E natural, so this is going to be a 4, and then 9, 8, G sharp. Be careful of clefs, super careful. Ooh, I already screwed up. This should be a C natural because we're in treble clef. Yep, treble clef. So that should actually be 0, which is good. 0, 9, 8. Hey, look at it. We've got prime row already. Let's see what happens next. Here's our next note, right? This is a B, so that's 11. B flat, it's going to be 10. G natural is 7. Like that. And then E natural is going to be 4. And then here, this also helps us figure out what fits in the row and what doesn't, because now we just have numbers to look at, right? So E flat or D sharp is going to be 3. In this note, the F is going to be 5. And then D, so let's see, here's our D. D is up here. That could work. And C sharp is going to be 1. So now we're setting ourselves up for a prime row again. But we've got this one is going to be a little bit hidden. Okay? So we've got 0, 9, 8, 11. Now we go straight to 10 in the piano part, but guess what? There's a 6 up here in the voice. So we're going to count this 6. He pulls double duty, essentially. So he maybe pulls duty, he probably pulls duty in the voice, but also is pulling duty in the piano part as part of that row, which is totally fair game. So 6, 10, 7, and now we come down here, 4, 3, 5, and then here's our extra 5, all right? But the rule is, even though it's in a different voice, you can have 2 5s as long as they're right in a row with each other, right? You can't have a note in between, and having a note at the same time does not count as in between. So this is okay. So this F, and this is, I mean, this is how composers manipulate these rows to actually make it sound musical. So this 5, and then finally the 2's up here, right? So 5, 2, this 5 follows 5, so it's fair game, and then 1. So this one's a little bit dirty. You have to make some manipulations, but you can make it work. And this is kind of why I like to just translate all of these guys to numbers, because then it's really clear to see how it works out and how these manipulations kind of happen. So that's my recommendation. It's a little bit time intensive at the beginning, but there isn't a ton of it to do. And I already did a bunch of it for you. So, or you can just do the traditional method and look directly at the actual notes and look for tone rows that way. But first of all, make your matrix. Then I would say number everything before you order them, right? And then from there, you can order them. So we look at this one, this tone row, so we're going to say, okay, well this is prime 0, because we found it, right? So prime 0, and then we go through and we say, okay, so 0, 1, here's the 8, so that's the second one. And then our next note is 11, so here's 3, right here, 3. Okay, then our next note needs to be 6, so 4 is going to be up here. All right, and then our 6th note, which is why this can get confusing. So here's number 5, number 7, or 6 is going to be number 7. So you're having to deal with 2 sets of numbers all the time, which is probably the most confusing aspect of this. All right, our next note needs to be 4, so that's our 7th note. Our 8th note should be 3. So here's number 8. See down here. Our next note should be a 5. So here's note number 9. Okay. And then our next note needs to be a D. So this is note number 10. Right here. Okay. This is still part of 9, so put a little 9 right there. And then our last note needs to be a 1, and that's the 11. Okay? So that is how that's going to work. So basically, I would suggest number all of your notes first, or figure out what they are, and then start ordering them. Put them in order according to what you can find on your matrix as far as tone rows go. And again, the first few notes are probably going to tell you what it is. So if you look for orders on either matrix, you'll find it. So here you're look at probably the first 3 notes will tell you whether it will fit onto a matrix. Even the first 2 notes will be probably enough to tell you whether it's actually, beginning of a row or not. So C, A, G sharp, you can look here, or 0, 9, 8. So you look at your matrix and you see, oh, boom, 0, 9, 8. There's the row, okay? This next one, since it's based on it, we can kind of use this. We've got 0, 3, 4. Let's see if we can find 0, 3, 4. Oh, here we go, retrograde. 0, 3, 4. Like that. Okay? So we know that it exists in the matrix. And since this has a different prime row, we don't know exactly where it's going to be, whether it's going to be retrograde 11 or retrograde inversion 1 or 11. But, oops, that should be an 11. Nope, it should be 1. Retrograde inversion 1. So that's all going to change. But, based on the fact that the prime row, which is RI7, is gonna move. Okay? So, and be transposed. So this is all getting transposed if you do numbers, so your numbers shouldn't really line up. But yeah, just take a look at this, fill it out. This is the last homework assignment for the semester, so enjoy that. Outside of your final exam, which is, you either have a choice to do, I've got a piece that you can analyze as a final exam, or you can choose to turn in a 30 to 50 measure piece of music, so I don't want it super long, about a page is fine, of a piece done in the style of one of the composition styles that we've studied this semester. So it could be Romantic era, which in my opinion is a little bit tough. You could do post-Romantic style, you could do Impressionist style, you could do some of these early 20th century styles we discussed last week, like, what was it? You could do, if you like Sudoku, then, you know, I think that serial music is probably your bag, your game. Otherwise, yeah, you could do it in the style of Bartók. Such a long chapter. So yeah, take a look at it. So you could do neoclassicist, primitivist. You could do it. Set theory is another option for what you could use. So you can use any of these composition techniques to write a cool piece of music using any instrumentation you want. It could be for one violin, it could be for just voice, it could be for piano, it could be for full orchestra. It just depends on how, you know, what's inside of you, what you want. So yeah, compose a short piece in one of these styles, Romantic through serialism, okay? And yeah, that's the end of it. And I will see you guys next week. Have a good weekend. Bye-bye.